Okay, I think that's working. We'll see if it is. Okay, that's working. Cool. So let's start this broadcast. Make sure that works. Broadcast created. Sweet. Cool. Okay, that's working. Hopefully that's working. Let's see if it's actually showing up vertically on YouTube. So many things to test at once. Cool. Vertical stream is working. Hell yeah. First time trying this, so hopefully there's no issues and no bugs or anything. We'll have to see. And let me see if I can go live on TikTok as well. Oh, I need to flip this. There we go. So that needs to be flipped there. So that that's working, and then we need to change the audio mixer for this to be this specific game. There we go. Save. Cool. That should be working too for TikTok. Let's try and go live. See if that works. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Interesting. Open widget. What does that mean? Stream health is poor to YouTube right now. Sorry, everyone. I'm just setting things up if you are tuning in right now, just to make sure this is all working properly. It's my first time trying to stream on like multiple different platforms at the exact same time, so trying to see exactly what's going on, what I need to fix, and all that fun stuff. But right now, we should be live on Twitter at least, and then YouTube as well, from what I can see. But it says the stream health isn't good. There's like an error, which is interesting. I'm like, okay, what's going on with this error? do. OBS advanced output. Okay, let's see if that is what is the issue here. Do. Output. Keyframe interval. Apply. Let's try that. Don't know what that changes, but we'll see if that does anything. Cool. Okay, I think this is working now. We'll have to see. And Marvel Rivals. Go live. That should be working too. Sweet. That's working as well for YouTube. Thank you to anyone who's tuning in on YouTube right now. testing multiple streaming to Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at the exact same time is kind of confusing, but I think it's working now. So we'll have to see if it actually is. And if it's not, well, let me know. You can probably comment. Yo, what's up, champion? We're about to be spectating some of the matches that are going on today. There's a couple that are finishing up here in the lower bracket, but we're going to go back and watch some of the ones that happened during the Asia Marvel Rivals Championship. There's some good matches there. And then also looking at the ones from EMEA as well. So we're going to be watching some of these matches, doing a little bit of casting and analysis as well. But right now what you need to know is this is the top 16 teams in North America that are competing, trying to make it all the way to the finals that happens next weekend. So Shikigami and Nightmare are two pro teams who were invited to the Marvel Rivals Invitational, and they are having to play for one spot into that kind of like, I think, top 12, I believe it is. So we'll have to see how this one's going. We're not going to give any spoilers on how this series is happening, but I'll be spectating it live and then also trying to break down some analysis of everything as well. So if anyone's watching, let me know if this is something you're interested in more in the future. But right now, this is Shikigami in blue and Nightmare in the orange. Let me know if the audio levels are good, if everything looks good as well. Trying to make sure that this is working properly so I can do this a little bit more often in the future. But I've never streamed to like multiple platforms at the same time, so we'll see. How many subs do I got? I think on YouTube I have around like 2,100 or something like that. So nothing too crazy, but... Okay, we got Ricky, Krasmang, Amadian, Daze, Dinks, and Scattered Genji on the side of Shikigami, and then Melania, Bizer, Mace, Kendrick, Luca, and Pizza Demon on the end for Nightmare. First bans, we have Groot on Nightmare's side, and then the other side for Shikigami, Loki, and Hela. The issue with Loki is they played against Sentinels, who have the best Loki player in North America, so we got to kind of see what's going on with that and why they don't want to play against the Loki this time. Appreciate the sub there, champion. Thank you. I'll be posting a lot more Marvel Rivals content in the future. They're protecting the Adam Warlock. That's so that they can go for the Guardians comp. Likely they're going to be going for... Okay, yeah, they're going to ban Mantis so they don't have to do that fully. But if they still have Adam Warlock and they play with a Star-Lord, they can play that way. Kind of made it so since they banned Mantis that they're not going to go with that option because of you usually need at least a couple different supports to get you going with that kind of composition. So now seeing that they banned that on the side of Shikigami, it makes a lot of sense. So we're probably going to be seeing, as you can see, a Bucky so consistent with that. Shikigami actually forced Sentinels to ban their Venom in the last series that they played, so that's kind of why you see Krasmang hovering over the nacho cheese Venom. I'm assuming we'll see. Actually, no, they're going with the Cyan one. Okay, we like it. We like the Cyan. It's not the worst, not the best, but we'll take it. It is the beta skin. Shout out, I got that when I was able to sign up for it. Unfortunately, I didn't get accepted to the alpha at the time, so I didn't get any of like the cool stuff that people have from back then, but it's okay. It's okay, I get it. I haven't been into hero shooters until Marvel Rivals itself, but still looking at Nightmare and Shikigami on this first map. We'll have to see how it goes. I mean, both these teams are some of the top 10 teams, I would say, in North America. So either of them have what it takes to get the victory. Shikigami looked really good against Sentinels earlier on, but looking forward towards Nightmare, I mean, they have a lot to prove for their new roster because their old roster got picked up by a big organization. So we'll have to see what the strategies are going to be there. We're going to stick with the POV, though, of Nightmare because they're on the attacking side this time. So Melania, one of the best DPS in the game. Expect some big things from them on the Hela. Going toe-to-toe with Amadian. Doesn't quite get the pick initially that they're looking for, so they're just going to try and just get some extra percentage towards that ultimate initially. Use the Goddess of Death as best as possible. But looking at the rest of their team, I mean, they're positioned in this corridor that you typically see a lot of teams walk down this way, or the kind of the main street on this map. So not too surprised with the way that they're performing up to this point. Melania again getting picks onto Amadian, but Krasmang, I mean, looking at the way that they're playing the Venom, just right behind the rest of them. They aren't actually expecting them to come down, drop down, and get some good damage onto the back line of their opponent. So some good looks so far. See what they can do moving forward and if they're going to be enough of a nuisance with this kind of dive that they're going for. Get in, get out, try to pop away as much as possible. Climbing on the wall just to run away that way because they don't have their left shit to escape as much as they would want to. But the rest of the team still positioned, trying to keep people off the objective. But Melania just staying in this backline the entire time. They don't really want to get exposed too much. They just want to do some chip damage until they can build up their Gods of Death ultimate and then use that to get some picks and maybe some amateur frags as well. But we do have the, oh my gosh, the invisible boundary that went up, but that wasn't really exactly what they wanted. Now the Kraken impact from Days. They got a couple of picks themselves, but taken out as well. These are so many trades that are happening between these two teams. There is nothing that they can do about it. Again, we do see Kendrick, though, using their own Kraken impact. They don't get the renewal on it because they didn't get the KO on the person that it actually activated on. So a rough spot for them to find themselves in. Not exactly where Nightmare wanted to position themselves, but hey, they've already got the 2 ticks onto this capture point already. You do see the Bionic Hook working on Kendrick that time, but they do escape with their own uppercut. Invisible boundary comes through in a Bucky versus Bucky battle. He's just shooting into the boundary to see if they can do some damage. Takes out one of the strategists, takes out another one as well for Days, and maybe looking for a triple if they can. Venom for Krasmang, doing everything that they can to keep this still going, keep them away from fully capturing this point and wasting more and more time. And any time you can get on the objective like that is so crucial to see. But again, if you guys are interested in Marvel Rivals content, I'm going to be doing some more breakdowns of this as the Marvel Rivals Championship and Esports continues. We'll be doing a podcast in the future as well with some of the top commentators out there in the scene, and hopefully get some players and coaches to interview as well. But either way, looking at the way that Nightmare took that first objective, not really too much that they struggled with. I mean, exactly what you expect from them is the way that they performed. So good things for them moving forward, but we'll have to see a little bit more out of Shikigami defensively if they want to stop these pushes. Still a little bit over 3 minutes remaining. Krasmang just waiting on the side of the wall like an apex predator, looking to drop straight down and devour the competition if they can. But they don't really have the best look of it. They have to use their E to at least get some health and drop back in. We do see Diggs using their ultimate for the Cosmic Yawn Amplifier to at least get some extra damage, but we do have the Arm to Dangerous from Kendrick. They are going to prep their Kraken impact as much as they can, see if they can take out the rest of Shikigami, but the Meteor End does come through from Scatter Genji. Stops them out as best they can. Uppercut onto Krasmang to at least get them sent away, but the invisible boundaries are just being such a nuisance to them. They can't really make too much leeway on this convoy itself. So far so good for Shikigami with how they're positioning. You see Amadian probably going to use their invisibility to get around and use the dance from the butterfly, try to take out the backline as best they can, but there's too many heroes on their side. Hell Unleashed, Gods of Death from Melania reigns supreme above, tries to take out some more of the competition for Nightmare to keep this push going, but the rest of their teammates pretty much pushed back. So not much forward momentum progress being made up to this point. We do see a lot of movement from Nightmare finally pushing past where they were at. Looking at the thing so far, Luca, after the updrafts are activated on this map, doing what they can. We'll see if there's going to be more resistance from Shikigami for the second checkpoint, or if it's just going to be a moot point at that. Krasmang does drop down onto it. And now we do see another invisible boundary from base here. Pizza Demon has had the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier, and we do have the Kraken Impact. Does get a double for themselves. See if they can get more. There's a triple for them as well. Looking for the quad. Can they get it? They do succeed with it. Make it a penta. That's exactly what Nightmare need to do to take down the competition. Beautiful work from Nightmare. Just using it one last time because they can. But that's what makes Bucky so deadly, is that you just take out the competition. There's nothing they can really do about it, and you're just having a terrible day if you're facing off against them. You got to wait in the respawn room till you hear that last again, and you just quiver in fear when you're looking at it. But for those who are just tuning in, this is Shikigami versus Nightmare, two of the top 10 teams in North America, face off against each other in the lower bracket. Loser goes home in this best of 5, I believe it is. Could be a best of 3 though, I'm not quite sure. We'll see once this map is done exactly what the standings are going to be for that. But either way, enough looking at Kendrick just shooting away. We'll look on the defensive side, see if this ultimate is going to come out from Days at some point for their own Kraken Impact, do some good damage themselves. We also have Scatter NG, who does have the Meteor M. Might see if they can pop that to take out some of the supports on the back lane. You do also see the Gods of Death and Meteor M for Nightmare. that they have available. Cosmic Yarn Amplifier available for Dinks, though, so we might see some action with that as well. Here comes the Meteor M from Scatter Genji. They didn't really get a pick. They were trying to see if anyone was in a good spot, especially some of the supports, but you do also see the Magneto on the other end missing their Meteor M. You do have the Invisible Boundary coming out. We did see the Fear, the Venom. I can't remember the name of the one for Venom. I'll have to look that up in a second, but we do have both Invisible Boundaries going through this time, so some good looks. Pizza Demon with their own Cosmic Yarn Amplifier as well. Melania, though, they held on to their ultimate for such a long time, and this is an interesting location for it. I mean, yes, they could get a couple of picks here and there, but it does protect them more than anything else just to get the rest of Shikigami off their backs, and I do like that positioning on it. It's just kind of a weird spot to find yourselves in when you are using that ultimate. Either way, though, Shikigami, one last stop if they can get it. Try to get onto the objective. Kendrick, though, is going to be using the Kraken Impact. You do have the Goddess of Death coming out from Amadian. They do get a couple of picks there. Looking at back four as well. Seeing if they can push back all of Nightmare to their own side. And with that, Nightmare does get pushed away from the objective at the last moment. 43 seconds. Trying to hold on as long as they can. Looking at Melania, though. And they get some good damage. Just kind of missing that shot, so... See if Mace can really do anything. Krasmang really in the back line, doing some good damage. He does have some sustainability, just baiting out that Rocket Raccoon. We do have the clobbering time available for Luca, so we'll likely see that popped at some point for them to use against the competition. Clobbering time did come out from the other end, though, from Scatter Genji. Then we do have a counter clobbering time themselves. Don't need to use the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier just yet, but they do want to get this final objective just so they can potentially force an overtime if Shikigami does get all 3 points. And looking at the momentum so far, it looks very likely Ricky does have the Invisible Boundary that they pop. They almost get knocked out immediately, though, inside of it. So a tough spot to find themselves in. They'd have the Bionic Hook come towards them, so they got to be careful pushing too far forward. Krasmang does have the Fear the Abyss. That's the ultimate name for Venom. And they actually pop it in C9 because you go up in the air when you use the Fear the Abyss ability. It makes it so you're off the objective. So because they were the only one on the objective, that they made it so they got taken off of it. No, it's not what you want to see happening. Oh man, that's rough. That is such a rough look for Shikigami. They could have held that objective a little bit more, but they gave it up because they used the ultimate that pops them up into the air, and they were pushed away from it. So Shikigami and Nightmare doing what they can, but Nightmare looking the best here on Hall of Dajalia for Convergence for this first map in this, I think, best of 3, maybe a best of 5 series. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Let's see what this Shikigami roster is going to be doing on their end of things as well.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Scatter Genji looked pretty solid. Let's look at the stats, actually. I think that's a good thing to look at. It's good that in the vertical mode it does show it for all of you for the most part, other than accuracy. I don't think you really need to look at accuracy for pros. It's more about those final hits more than anything. And look at Kendrick, 14 final hits. I'd say at least half of those were from their Kraken impacts, so that's what we got to see of how successful they were there.
3, 2, 1.
On the other end, though,
mission.
decent healing. Same for Ricky. About the same you see from Pizza Demon and Bizer. I don't really know how to pronounce their name. I'm going to be honest. If anyone does know, please let me know if you're watching this. We'll have to see. But either way, Shikigami going down the main street, not changing too much up themselves. There's a little bit of flanks happening here, though, from Amadian and a Ricky on the other end. Just keep them supported, but looking at Daze on the Bucky, does have that infinite ammo so that they can build up their ultimate, and that's going to be used as kind of an opening to clear away the competition once they're on this objective. They're just trying to really build it up as much as possible. It doesn't really matter how much damage they're doing, just that they get to that point. They tried to see if they can get the hook onto the Magneto that time, but not exactly what they were wanting. So continue forward, get some shots in. See that they're almost at 100% for it. A lot faster than Kendrick is as well, because that's what they're focusing on. You're not going to be able to hook the thing at all, because any of the movement abilities that force movement out of your opponents don't work on them. Stuns do, though. Now we have the Kraken Impact, though. does get a couple of shots, does not get the reset though, and it was only on Mace and Luca, and time has already gone away from it. So the invisible boundary works out well. So does the CYA as well. We saw one from Dinks that was kind of wasted. So all of the team from Shikigami pushed back, and Nightmare already in the driver's seats themselves. So already getting to see how this team performs. And right now, it's not the best look for the end of Shikigami. So we'll see what Ricky and Krasman can do. Looking for any avenue into this objective. Scatter Genji does have that Meteor M as well, so they'll have that available to them.
I feel like myself again.
Probably just waiting for like the perfect time to pop it. We do see the Fear Magneto though from Mace, and they're looking to just take out the back line, but no, they took out a Madian who was in the air that time. That was a perfect pick for them. Kendrick as well getting one. Beautiful KOs on their side. And Kendrick, speaking of, has their Kraken Impact available. Kind of gloating a little bit on that end. Nightmare trying to prove that they are a better team than Shikigami, and well, if they win this series, they'll have the day for that. There's a couple ultimates available, though, on the side of Shikigami. We have Ricky, Krasmang, Amadian, and Scatter Genji. So we do have the clobbering time that does come out from Luca on Twitch, but they do get clobbered themselves. Ricky with the invisible boundary. Scatter Genji does use the Meteor M. Doesn't get anything with it, though, so we still have a couple ultimates available from the other end. Kendrick has their Kraken Impact. Amadian has the Goddess of Death, and so does Daze have the Kraken Impact, too. So they have a couple of options that they can go for with this. Look at the Hell Unleashed, though, from the Hella. We also have the Armed and Dangerous from Kendrick on the back end. And they're going to take their time. Also, another Goddess of Death from Melania. But this is a full stop. 51 seconds for Shikigami to try and get onto the objective. And not really much time for them to get back there. Looking at Daze, though, they do have some potential.
Strange made some kind of magic door.
See if they're going to be able to use their ultimate at the perfect timing, because that's been the struggle for them so far, is that they haven't had the best timing. They do have the bubble on them, and this does come to Hell Unleashed from Melania that's going to try and take out some of the other competition. Daze does get taken out as well by Mace, so he wastes his ultimate, can't even do anything with it. The Goddess of Death doesn't really do too much either, though, from Nightmare, but it doesn't need to. 14 seconds, 0 points. And that is going to be the game for Nightmare for at least map 1. There's still a couple more maps out there that they'll have to take care of and do from then on out, but we'll have to see what they can do in that capacity. Either way, though, you have the Eye of Agamotto coming out. Doesn't really do too much. One final push here for Shikigami. Ricky really the only one keeping things in the fight. A couple of the players left. Scatter Genji trying to use their Meteor M to take out someone. Kendrick doesn't get taken out. Clobbering time from Luca on Twitch, and they get taken out themselves. Krasmang seeing if they can get back onto the objective, but there's not much time remaining. They do have their ultimate to at least do something, but they can't touch it whatsoever. Oh no.
2, 3.
And it will be in the favor of the side of Nightmare for map 1. What a first map for them as well. So we do see that go to their side. That victory as well. We got a cat also featuring here for a second. Bicer there with the MVP, 28 elims, and Nightmare with the first game as well. But we'll have to see if that's going to be the case for the rest of this. Looking at it so far in the stats, I mean, Kendrick really the MVP in my opinion with how they performed. I mean, 20 final hits is more than the other team combined. One player did more than the other team in getting final hits. That is insane to think about looking at it. But again, let's check out the next game. We got to go back into searching for the replays. See if we have it. Round 2 is there. We kind of probably know based on that if it is Nightmare that got the victory over Shikigami. They do switch sides though, it looks like. So could be a bit different on who takes the victory this go around. Shikigami, as you can see, in orange this time. Nightmare in the blue. I know it's kind of cropped on this end, but is what it is. Working with what we can. Okay, let's see what these teams can do. That was really a dominant performance from Nightmare, though. I mean, Shikigami couldn't do anything there on Hall of Dajalia. Shin Shibuya, I mean, similar game mode. We'll have to see what they can do. What's up, Elijah? We do have the Groot here getting banned and the Adam Warlock. They don't want to play against the Guardians comp whatsoever. Nightmare's pretty good at that. I mean, most teams have to be at this point as well. They do save the Star-Lord, though, after the Adam Warlock is banned. So maybe they're just going to go with it for no reason. Who knows? Maybe it's a bait. I don't know. We did see the Mantis banned last time. We also see my cat here as well. Hello. She just wants all the attention. I know I'm talking to the internet right now. I can give you some pets, though. Well, now I can't watch the game because you're kind of in the way of it. So I'm going to have to move you for a second. Sorry, cat. There we go. Okay, looking at the bans, we have Loki, Groot, and Star-Lord. And then we have Namor, Luna Snow. Oh, you hit my keyboard. I know you're wanting to play right now, cat. I'm sorry, but I got to, like, use my hand to spectate. Hello. If I could tilt my camera down right now, you just see this cat right here, just wanting all the attention. Okay, well, Shikigami down by a map on the orange side, Nightmare up by a map in this best of 3, confirmed. Shin Shibuya for Convergence is where we're at now. Why are you trying to eat a fake plant, cat? He crazy.
They'll be coming in 30
let's
seconds.
keep going.
Stay strong.
Let's actually look at the Shikigami side. They're going to be on the attacking end this go around and really need to make a statement. They need to get all 3 points if they want a chance to win this series. And right now, it's a tough look for them. They've been struggling to really get things going, especially when it comes to getting the KOs against their opponents. The final hit specifically, as I talked about, we saw Kendrick with 20, and the other team didn't even have 20 combined. So,
2, 1.
looking forward to what they can do.
From securing the mission area.
This looks like a gig for the Guardians of the Galaxy.
You're ready for
I'm actually kind of curious on where the defense is set up. They're taking their time and giving them a lot of space to work with, getting rid of that first building's wall just to kind of flank around the side instead. Do see Mace doing just some poke damage at them. Build up some of that ultimate charge. Make it so that they can't really force themselves onto the point just yet. We'll probably see a Bionic Hook onto Mace, though, and probably try and take him down that way. That's also why we see that damage reduction used onto them to back up for the thing. Getter Genji, though, doing pretty well for themselves, just pushing forward. We do have Krasmang again on the Venom, just diving in and pushing away the rest of their opponents. Kind of gonna go above them just to get that diving strike again for some extra damage, too. Sorry, I gotta pet the cat. She wants all the attention right now. Oh, the Fear Magneto does come out, though. Getter Genji does have their ultimate available as well, and they're trying to push on this objective. They do have a couple of their players down, so I don't think they're going to waste it at this point. They're going to wait till the next team fight, see what they can do from then on out. It's a good stop, though, from Nightmare again, who's just kind of proven that they're the better team in this matchup from the way that they're performing. It's been a bit of a struggle from their opponents to really do anything, and looking at it, I mean, there hasn't really been much resistance on the other end of things. So, Mace into Millennia. Luca, we'll see what they can do. Kendrick, some good shots so far. Looking at the stats as well, I'm actually kind of curious what we've had. Kendrick with 3 elims and 2 final hits already. So yeah, making the most of like where they need a position, kind of a duelist diff so far. Some good looks at this point, I would say. So got to see. Oh no, Kat, you're touching on the buttons.
Watch me disappear.
Sorry, I know you want attention.
It's the grand finale.
I have to take a break after this game just to give my cat some food. Do have the Clockwork Time come out, though, but the Fate of Both Worlds is also going to happen. Armed and Dangerous does get shut down for a second. They aren't really able to get any picks with it, so
We make a good
not
team.
the best timing for the ultimates from the side of Nightmare. Does open things up for the other end. Ricky just trying to stay alive at this point, but the rest of them still haven't gotten a single tick, so they're getting pushed away. Krasmang's just getting bullied by the other team. Mace forcing them away from the objective as well, trying to see if they can at least get a finish or more damage onto them just to force them to reset. No Doctor Strange as well. We don't have a Strange ban either, which I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen one taken out by Shikigami. I know they really like this Magneto and Venom composition that they're going for. I mean, you see Krasmang kind of trying to position themselves to get onto the objective from behind, but they just haven't really been able to do too much. Looking to see if they get a finish onto Melania, which would be huge. Can't do here much as well, and they're getting hooked bionically by the other team. Can't even escape the Bucky too well. Not much health remaining for themselves, and we do have the Hell Unleashed coming through. Melania looking to use that themselves. They get taken out of it very quickly, so we do have Daze now using their ultimate. Sorry, my cat's attacking.
Nice deep freeze.
He just wants to play and hit all the buttons on my keyboard. Clobbering time, though, escaped. That we see happen from the uppercut from the Bucky, but they don't survive long enough to really stay on the objective as much as they would want. So we'll have to see what they can do. Armed and dangerous, though, from Kendrick. They do get one, looking to get the second on to the Rocket Raccoon, but they can't follow them up. See if they can get a hook onto them if they poke themselves out, but there it goes, the ultimate. Cosmic Yard Amplifier does go down. Ricky using the Fate of Both Worlds to at least stay on the objective. Overtime already. This Shikigami team cannot capture a point to save their lives today, at least in this series. They're trying to stay alive in the top 16, lower bracket currently, and right now it is not to be. Ayavagomoto does come out, though, does get dazed, does get one mace with a 2-piece, and I think that might be all she wrote. Krasmang does use the Fear of the Abyss. Doesn't get a single pick for it. Cosmic Yarn Amplifier just for some extra damage to see if they can at least stay in the fight, but they had no sustainability. Rocket can't do it, and that's going to be a full hold with just a couple of ticks onto the objective for convergence. This might just be a 2-0 sweep for Nightmare, which is not the way I expected this series to go. My goodness.
Side you're on.
Some other matches that we'll take a look at in this specific bracket, but wow, Nightmare really proving that they are the better team. Have to see what the other team can do at this time themselves, but still. Nightmare looking pretty solid. They don't look like they can be stopped, and with how confident they took the objective in Hall of Dajalia, they should be able to just take this series. I mean, we haven't really seen enough from the other team. We've seen some like okay looks from Krasmang, but I think just the composition, the Doctor Strange came out on the other side where we should have seen one earlier on, I think, from Shikigami personally, and it just hasn't been the best of looks from them.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Yeah, that group ban definitely targeted them as well, so
In my timeline,
we'll have to see what they can do.
one of the greatest warriors our
Either way,
nation
though.
has ever known.
All comes down to this for this series. Can Shikigami in the orange stay alive, or is it going to be Nightmare taking this victory at the end of the day?
4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do
Let me
is
know if
capture the
you
mission
are
area.
listening in chat
Got
or
it?
paying attention or tuning in. Who you think is going to come out on top? Is it going to be Nightmare getting the sweep, or Shikigami themselves? So far, not so good for Shikigami.
I feel like myself again.
See where Melania positions themselves, and that's actually a good spot. Krasmang got in the way for it, trying to just get rid of their cover from above and see if they can take them out, but some good heals by their strategists, and they can't even push onto the objective. Or push them away from the objective is more what I mean to say.
Resistance is futile.
What a combo from Melania.
I am the god.
Uses the stun, then gets just a 2-tap to the dome and takes them out. I mean, I wish I had those kind of Hellas on my team. Most of the Hellas on my team just end up missing their shots all the time. Which I know it's tough when there's like so many moving parts in this game to hit your shots all the time, but you got to do that, especially when you're at this level of the competition.
I'll patch you up.
Already halfway to the finish in this game and in the series for this best of 3. So far, not so good for Shikigami. Melania is just having a good time. They kind of got stuck under there though when trying to use the Raven to escape. It's not real firepower because the Rocket Raccoon gets taken out completely. Do have clobbering time come through. Kendrick using their ultimate for the Kraken Impact, and that's it. That's the series. Nightmare 2-0 sweep Shikigami. And there's nothing that they could do about it. It's a rough start for them. They looked like they could do anything going into this tournament, but they lost to Sentinels. So close too. Went to map 3, took a game against them and almost took the first one. And then they lose here in a sweep to Nightmare. That just goes to show that this game is still so competitive. Nightmare, congrats to them on the victory against Shikigami, but my goodness, not where they wanted to end things off. Mace, of course, the MVP there with the Magneto plays. I mean, 8 final hits for themselves. The rest of the team didn't really need to do too much. They just had some really good defensive posturing when they were on their own side. So let's look at some of the other replays. See what the other teams have going on so far. Look at the schedule. I think all the results except Groats and Nova 6 are out so far. So we do have FlyQuest through into the next day of competition. No such thing as a pro Marvel Rivals player. These are literally the pros that are paid professionally to play the game. So that's wrong, Shin. Literally on FlyQuest, who is one of the top organizations in esports. And then we also have Nightmare and Shikigami, who are also paid to play this game. And on the other side of the bracket, if you missed it, we had Rat Esports that are paid, Shroud X, Luminosity, Sentinels, 100 Thieves. They're all pro Marvel Rivals players. If you missed the invitational that happened, definitely recommend checking it out, though. It was $100,000 that these teams competed for. And this is all in-game for this specific tournament for how they are playing the matchups. If you want to see the exact details of the invitational, let me see if I can find it. I think it's like here. Details. Rewards preview. There it is. $6,000 for first place. You can't see it on TikTok, unfortunately, but shows the runner-up and shows third place. $3,000 and $1,500. This is their second season, technically, of doing it as well. They did season 0 that some of these teams won, and I think that was 100 Thieves who won it technically, but they picked up the roster that won that eventual tournament. Either way, though, let's look at this Groats and Nova 6 matchup since it went to map 3. I think that's kind of like the best one to look at so far. The rest of them, with most of the results, kind of expected. Eris got the win. Bald by choice. What a great name. Polymath. Catwow got that 2-0 victory. FlyQuest did as well. So yeah, let's watch the Groats versus Nova 6 and see exactly how the series is going down. Nova 6 is like the best Latin American team that's out there. And Groats is a top contending team who played in some of the other like tournaments for season 0. So I'm kind of curious on how this one's going to go. Bum, bum, bum. Do-do-do. It is super hot in this apartment. I'm gonna go turn the AC down real quick. I'll be right back.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we're back. Sorry, you just stared at the V on my background while the bans are coming in. So we do have the Star-Lord save. Okay, interesting. Wolverine ban, Adam Warlock ban. It's curious that you would like save Star-Lord when you're banning Adam Warlock, but I guess you just don't want to have to worry about the reses when you're playing this. Groot save kind of makes sense. I mean, Groot's very effective as a tank,
They'll be coming in
so we
30
kind of see that happen
Stay strong.
pretty frequently. Looking at this as well. I'm gonna change that text
That's
as
new
well.
territory for us, huh, bud? I know, right? Guess you could say we're branching out. Yeah, no, I know. You don't have to say anything.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There we go. I think that makes a little bit more sense. So I think it's a $10,000 prize pool.
I feel like myself again.
You need to stop that
me
vehicle in
see.
its tracks. Please.
Oh, it's $14,000. That's crazy.
Better stop that vehicle.
There we go. Sweet. Okay, enough of looking at Loki gameplay.
Stop them.
So Nova 6 is the top Latin American team that's out there. I'm not quite sure where specifically they're based out of. I'll have to look it up eventually at some point, but they're kind of the team to look out for when it comes to combining North America and Latin America into like Americas, I think is what like the specific region is called. Groats is another like top team that placed, I think it was top 16 in Marvel Rivals Championship during season 0. So for season 1, they have some big expectations, and if they don't win this series, then they'll go out top 16 at the earliest, which is not a good look for them. We'll have to see what Smoopsy, a great name, can do with this one. They're using the Kraken Impact, gets one, looking for the second as well. Regeneration Domain's not going to do much, so they do get the revive on the Loki clone. They do get another one on another Loki clone. The Loki clones are so annoying because they just give you your ultimate again and again and again. There's a fourth one. Well, technically a double, though, for actual players. A triple for themselves. Can they get the other Bucky? And they do for the quad. Smooksy, what a great name, gets another elimination. 4 elims. Probably like 5 Loki clones somewhere in there. They're just going to use it to destroy this building. So it's a little bit easier to maneuver up towards the high ground. Good look for Nova 6 at the start, though. I mean, some good eliminations, pushing back the Groats competition. We do have the Galactic Legend, though, from Alex. And the Meteor M is going to make it so that's going to be wasted for a long amount of time. It can't get a single pick off of it. So good Meteor M usage, especially whenever they are using a Star-Lord. Try to use their E as well to get a finish off on them, but not enough for it either. So does bounce back. See what they can do with it here. Ooh, the Groot does get grappled, though. They're not going to be able to escape from their demise. Smooksy, they're the one who got the quad before. Looking for some more action against the competition. Bionic unsuccessful. They're still pushing back the Groats team as best they can. I mean, they haven't been able to really do anything about it. Some good looks from them up to this point. And they are stopping them in their tracks.
Oh boy, here they come!
Now, let's see what Soko can do. They have the Strangling Prison. They get started in prison themselves. A good combination using the ultimate. And they are actually taking out all by Soko. They have a counter Strangling Prison and take them out using the Groot walls. What a play by Soko. I got to go back to see that. Let me go back and see exactly how that went down for Soko. Alright, we're almost there. So they got Strangling Prison themselves to put up the Ironwood wall, and then they just take everyone out using their own Strangling Prison. Oh my goodness, what a play by Soko. It looked like Nova 6 were going to hold things down. But I guess not. Groat's looking pretty good.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a
Good look
time
for them
stop
up to this point. Nova 6 though. Strome. See what they can do. They're going to change to anyone. Galactic Legend, though, coming out here from Chobliux. Oh, okay, I was about to say the Magneto bubble might have been enough to stop them. Galactic Legend battle between those two in the air, and it will be Chobliux. I think that makes more sense to say. Getting that KO.
No worries. I've got your back.
We'll have to see what happens from here on out. So I got to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Keep getting text messages. Hysteria. They have a Meteor M in the pocket. They're probably going to be waiting till Alex has their ultimate available to them so that they can at least just bait it out and take care of business themselves. We'll have to see what they can do from here on out.
Shields up.
Visible boundary does go up. Strome is the one to use it from the Loki cloning the Invisible Woman. Now Smooksy. See it when they're going to be using it. They're cracking impact. Bionic Hook charging up. Does get the Magneto, takes them away, and combos them with the uppercut. The Groot Wall stops their advancement back to their allies. They get taken out for it. Oh, what a play. The combination and coordination of these top 16 players in North America is unmatched. Of course, there's other teams who didn't participate in this tournament, like Envy, who placed top 4 in the last Invitational, and some other squads out there as well. But for the most part, this is the top 16 teams currently. Although there's some arguments you could make based on the way the bracket worked out. But we do see the Invisible Boundary come out. Soko does have a Strangling Prison, wondering if they're going to be able to use it at some point. Double Invisible Boundary. They do use the Strangling Prison, puts up the Iron Thorn Wall and the Wood Wall to see if they can block out the competition and get some good damage on them, but it doesn't really do enough for it. So Guy Who Drives is just going to be maybe AFK for a moment, maybe disconnected. Something's going on with them. Okay, they were lagging a little bit there. Thankfully, they didn't disconnect themselves, or DC. I almost said DQ. That's not right.
They've made it halfway. Stop them.
We'll have to see what they can do. I'm going to edit the title for this. All the Magnetos being feared at this point because the Galactic Legends are popped by both sides. Cracking Impact comes out though from Smooksy. Seeing if they can get a finish onto Badges. They do get it, so they reactivate the Cracking Impact. Take another one for the double. Gets rid of the overhead bridge using their third, and they didn't get the connection they wanted, but didn't need it because Groats are running out of time. Star-Lord trying to get onto it. They get hooked away, and Smooksy denies them access to the objective. That will be only a single point for the Groats. So, looking at the other side of things, looking pretty good for their opponents on what they can do here on out. Nova 6, the only Latin American team remaining in the competition, making a name for themselves as best they can. Bum, 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 bum. Appreciate it. But I'm good. Don't need any graphics. Thank you, though. Hey, when people spam that stuff when you have low viewers. It's like, oh, your stream's great. Let me get you some graphics. I'm good.
I have been fighting to protect my people since before you were born, boy.
Okay, let's see what they can do.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your attacks are futile.
Oh,
They don't have much time to go to get to their objective and get the victory in this first map. So I feel like at this point, Nova 6 are very likely to take the victory. We'll have to see if that's the case, but even then. Soko was pretty effective on Groats. They're kind of being pushed back a little too far. They haven't even been able to be up close towards Nova 6 this entire time. So not the best start that you really want on this map, especially when you're on the defensive end, because it took so long for the other team to really get going. But Groot Wall is being popped up by both teams. Regeneration Domain keeps them alive for now. Good play by the Loki. Keep them in this fight as long as they can. Smooksy, I wonder if they can get a pick themselves and The wall's just getting in the way of their sight lines. They're trying to build up that ultimate so they can use the Kraken Impact. Do have the powers of mine from Momentum. It does switch on over to the Invisible Woman, and now we have all of the invisible boundaries from both teams.
Better watch your back.
But again, still not enough. Nova 6 push back themselves. Smooksy can't really do too much. Hysteria. See them push up. Waiting to see if they can use their bubble. Kind of protect their teammates. You do see Choblix, who does have the Galactic Legend. There we go. Had to find a button for it. But the invisible boundary does get popped instead to counter that ultimate. So they're just going to put some damage forward. Does get pushed back for a moment, and they can't really do too much with their ultimate. File, though. Haven't talked about their name at all this entire game, I would say. Does have the Strangling Prison. See if they can counter the other team. We do see Smooksy using their Kraken Impact. Does take out one. Does get the double. Looking for another, but there's nobody nearby, so they have to waste it. Couldn't find the Star-Lord Alex on the other side, but look at this. Already the first objective in the first minute and 30 seconds. Nothing to worry about here.
Much better.
So we'll keep things moving. See what they can do. Smooksy. Oh, denied by their own teammates Groot Wall. How dare they? Well, you have Alex, but it is a Meteor M, so they're not going to waste it. They're going to see if they can get some damage there, but the Meteor M's are just such a good counter to the Galactic Legend. You have to kind of like wait till there's one available to even use it at that point. Stromae's going to use Invisible Boundary, of course, because we do have badges coming out with Kraken Impact. Some good damage being popped as well, so nice to see what they can do with this. But again, is it going to be enough at the end of the day? That's the question.
I always come back.
Boom, boom, boom. Switching on over to the Squirrel Girl for Groats. I don't know if that's going to be a good option. It's a option. Not meta at all, so we'll have to see if that's going to maybe just get some chip damage and do enough with that. Oh, you know what it is? It's to get rid of the Groot walls. That's what it is. Squirrel Girl is really good at getting rid of Groot walls. Galactic Legends, though, does come out from Chobolux.
Did you see that?
Good damage, doesn't get anyone. Invisible Boundary comes up, but look how close they have to be. That is going to help out their teammate Smooksy, but it's not enough. You have another Galactic Legend from Alex this time. Just get one pick. Badges and Soko got a couple of trades themselves, and good looks from their side for Nova 6, though, because they did get a better trade in their end. And Groats, maybe one final push to stop this, but I don't think they have a chance. They're just going to be looking towards the next map, potentially. You see the Star-Lord here trying desperately to get it. The Loki as well onto it. Here comes the Portal 2 from the spawn, going on to the objective. They try to kind of like block the area themselves if they could. Hysteria used their portal for that as well. But hey, that's enough time. Does cover their bases, and they do get that first map for Nova 6. So I'll look.
Another epic victory.
Bum, bum, bum. Okay, why is this bugging on YouTube? Need to figure out what's going on there. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, let's see the next one. Exit the replay onto the next. Ooh, that's going on right now. Well, we kind of know what happens in this next map now. That's okay, though. Let me see if I can adjust this overlay a little bit better. I feel like I should make the game capture just the size that it should be. I know something funny I could do. Yeah, let's do this. This is gonna be funny. Where is it? Is it here? Yeah, there it is. Oh my god. Oh, let me put that underneath everything though. Oh no, it went away. Oh, I forgot I didn't put it on loop. There we go. Just add Venom twerking at the bottom. That'll get people's attention. There we go. Enjoy Venom twerking, but semi-censored because you can't see their butt. Oh man. Now it's a little bit easier to see the gameplay though, which is good in case anyone's actually wanted to pay attention to that a little bit more.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
Okay, look at the bans this time. Similar to what we saw last round, save the Bucky, which makes sense for Smooksy. Nova 6 did really well with the Bucky that time. Yggdrasil Path for Convoy, a little bit different. Banned the Star-Lord. They did not want to play against that whatsoever. Chobalux, or Chobalux, or however you say the name. We do see them on the Storm. A little different, but Storm is pretty good on this map. I've seen them banned a couple of times. So we'll see what they can do on the defensive end.
Be your best self. They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Why is this bugging though?
If you step out of line, Mr. Bonds, I will not hesitate to rip that metallic limb from your body.
Then I guess it's a good thing I only need one arm to take you out.
Advanced encoding settings.
The battle starts in 5.
Do I do that
4,
instead? Does that fix
3,
it?
2, 1.
Or is it the vertical encoding that's needed?
You need to stop that
We'll
vehicle
see.
in its tracks.
If that changes things to the stream or not.
Time ago. It seems
Hopefully
we
that fixed whatever this error is that it keeps saying on YouTube. Either way though,
Better stop that
Nova 6 and
vehicle.
Groats need to bounce back here or they are out of the competition because this is a best of 3.
Don't mind me. I'm just dying.
They made it halfway.
You know, I think I'm going to actually end it here for now. I need to figure out a different way to do some of this stuff in the future. So, for anyone who did stop